Hi guys, this is my favorite camera of all time. This is a Photosniper FS-3. These were made from 1965 to 1969. The previous model was a Photosniper FS-2. They were made from 1944 to 1945. What's cool about this is the case it comes in. This is a full set. They're kind of hard to find a complete full set. This is a rugged military case. In fact, it has lugs on the back for leather straps so you can turn it into a backpack. And inside is your complete photo set. Here's the documentation. The documentation I got was actually for an FS-12, which is a newer camera. It's the same basic set for an FS-3 as an FS-12, except the Zenith camera has a through-the-lens metering system on the FS-12. This has a selenium exposure meter that's built into the top. I'll show you that in a second. These are the three straps that it comes with. One of them is a sling. This one is a sling for the camera. The other two are to turn the carrying case into a backpack. I'll just set them to the side. I never use them, of course. What's neat is that nothing in here is loose. This is all solidly packed. You can shake it upside down. Nothing is going to be loose or fall out. There's a big screw mount here in the front that holds the camera securely in place. Nice and tight. And that's the basic camera assembly and the lens. The lens is a 300mm Tiara 3 PHS lens. A lot of people think the lens is worth a lot of money, but probably not. This is the stock for it. And this also has a screw mount. Now before I assemble the camera, let me show you the rest of the kit. This is a 44mm with a plastic cover on it, 44mm f2 lens, and it's the thread mount for the camera is also the thread mount to hold it into the case. So if I slowly unscrew this, there's the standard lens. If you choose to use the camera as a regular 45mm camera instead of a 35mm camera. These are the screwdrivers for the adjustment and setting up of the camera. These are two 35mm film canisters. This is a stack of filters that comes with it. It's they're all screwed on top of each other. They all have the same thread. There are four filters here. They're all 72mm. That's a green one. I don't know if you can tell in the camera. That's a red one. That's a yellow one. And that's another yellow one. And they all screw together like all filters would. And of course they all screw into the backpack carrying case. And have a rubber hood to cover it, or a plastic hood I should say. So that's the case. Now here's how you assemble the camera. It's a lot different than the Zenith camera. Is only different from standard Zenith cameras in that it has this extra socket on the bottom for a shutter release. So the stock goes on like this. Go. There's a little knob here to tighten this in. So you tighten it here and you tighten it here, and this is the focus. And you'll see the lens, or rather that's the zoom. You zoom out. No, that is the focus. There is no zoom, I'm sorry. That's the focus. And then here's the shoulder stock, just snaps in. And there's a knob to tighten that. And now you have a complete Photosniper 3. I'll get this documentation out of the way. So it's a normal camera with a mechanical shutter. You cock it like that. Set your shutter speed up here. We're set at 120. We're set at 500th of a second now. If you look through the viewfinder, the image you see could be dark depending on the f-stop you have set. So here's the f-stop from f22. I have to release this, I guess, to f4.5. So if you look through it at f22, you won't see a thing because it's pretty darn dark. If you look at it at f4.5, it looks right. But here's the key, is that you actually have to cock the lens as well as the shutter. So when I pull the trigger, it actually releases the lens first and then the shutter, like that. Now, of course, there wasn't much of a difference there because we were set at f4.5, but if I set this down to f22, now the shutter is cocked and the camera is cocked. If I pull the shutter, first the lens will stop down to f22 and then the camera will fire. It's a two-step thing. So this is the only camera I've got where you have to both cock the lens and advance the shutter and cock the shutter to make it fire. This is the focus. It's kind of hard to show you unless you look through the viewfinder to see it. These are the lugs for this carrying sling for it, the camera. Now the backstory is that Nikita Khrushchev had one of these. He had an FS-2, which was again only made from 1944 to 1945, and when his F2 broke down, he took it to the factory, which was in Moscow, and the story is that he wanted to get it repaired, and they said they're sorry, but they no longer manufacture that camera. And he said, oh, that's a shame, because it was a very nice camera. They took that as a mandate and went back into production and produced the FS-3, which this is. And over the years, there was FS-4s, 5, 6s, and so on. Most of those were radically different than this camera, until finally the FS-12, which was pretty much the same thing as this one, except the camera on the FS-12 had through-the-lens metering instead of the selenium sensor on the front of the camera. So it had a CDS cell built in. So basically, the Zenith camera was new, but the 300mm lens and everything else stayed the same. I got this on eBay for about $207. The value on these, typically on eBay, is about $300. I bought this from a fellow in England whose mother owned it. It comes with a military case with 4 72mm filters, the metal lens cap, the rear lens cap, 2 screwdrivers, 2 film canisters, an extra 44mm Helios f2 lens, a rubber viewfinder cup, and a large rubber lens hood. So that's about it. It's a cool little camera. I'll take some closer pictures with a still camera so you can see the label here clearly. Hi guys, as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. There's 3 ways you can help. Tell your friends about it, click on the subscribe icon below, and click on the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Bye.